guys, so today I am filming with my new camera, which, yeah, okay. What's going on here? This is gonna be really hard because I'm gonna keep looking at myself in the viewfinder. All right, so look here, Penelope, don't look there. Here, no, cat hair, everywhere. Why, hello. So today I'm going to be talking about my favorite book to movie adaptations, which is a video I plan to do for a really long time. It's actually the first video in a series that I am going to do about book to movie adaptations. But before I get into that, I want to talk about something a lot more important. In light of everything that's been going on in the world, I want to show my support for the Black Lives Matter movement. So I'm going to link my Instagram below where I share all sorts of resources for BLM as well as LGBTQ+, as it is currently Pride Month, and there's been a lot of upsetting things happening in that community as well. Also, if you're interested in more film recommendations besides the ones in this video, last week I actually wrote about a film featuring a Black narrative every day for an entire week, and you can find that on my highlights, which is titled BLM Films. Even though I have a very small platform, I still have a platform, and I felt that the right thing to do was to state clearly that I stand for Black and queer lives, and that's never gonna change. All right, so this video, movie adaptations. I love movies almost as much or as much as I love books. Now, while there are so many movies that I could talk about, these are my ride or die movie adaptations, favorite movie adaptations, and some of my favorite movies. Well, since I'm a dumbass and I forgot to say this in the actual video, the first book to movie adaptation I'm going to talk about is Harriet the Spy by Louise Fitzhugh. This book and movie follows the story of Harriet Welsh, who is an 11-year-old girl living in Manhattan. Harriet loves to write so much. She keeps this notebook and she writes down everything about the people around her, and they're not always nice things. To be frank, Harriet is a little brat, and I think that's why, one of the reasons why I loved her story so much, because when this came out when I was 6, it was like, I don't know, Disney princesses, and I just hadn't read or seen many books or movies told from a young girl's perspective with so much truth. Now, I first learned about this book through its movie, which came out in 1996, starring Michelle Trachtenberg, and I was obsessed with it. Seriously, I used to don a white raincoat, and I had my little spy kit with my composition notebook and my binoculars, and I used to spy on my neighbors all the time. I even went into one of their houses, and very, very lucky I never got caught, because yeah, what can I say? Harriet was my role model, and to this day, I love this story so much. The next book that I'm going to talk about is Ghost World by Daniel Clowes. This is actually a graphic novel, and it is the basis for the 2001 film Ghost World, starring Thora Birch and Scarlett Johansson. This story follows Enid and Rebecca, and they have recently graduated from high school. The root of the story is about two friends who are growing apart. Enid really doesn't know what she wants to do with her life, but she knows she doesn't want to stay in her hometown. Rebecca is completely fine with that idea. She wants Enid to move in and for them to continue their adventures and misadventures, and she's ready for that. This story is funny, and it's darkly funny, and it's sad at times and really touching, and it's also hilarious. And this is just a story that I know I'm gonna have in my life for the rest of my life and revisit and love. The next book to movie adaptation that I'm going to talk about is Sin City by Frank Miller. But the movie follows the first 3 volumes, which are Volume 1, The Hard Goodbye, Volume 3, A Dame to Kill For, fuck you too, and Volume 4, That Yellow Bastard. Sin City follows a group of anti-heroes. They are not upstanding citizens by any means. They make many mistakes. They kill people. They're anti-heroes, but at the same time, you root for them. It's like a film noir crime situation. It's very gritty, and it's very like, where do you draw the line? But at the same time, that's one of the things that make the series so appealing, at least to me. The movie is one of my all-time favorite movies. It has been since it came out. It did so much visually, and it was literally like one of the first graphic novels that came onto the screen If you watch Sin City, you know exactly what I mean, because it's literally like you're watching a graphic novel, a comic book unfold on screen. So good. It's so good. Yeah, I love Sin City so much. Always have. And I'm pretty sure I always will. The next movie adaptation is actually adapted from a play, and it is Closer by Patrick Marber. This story follows a group of 4 people living in London. 3 of them are from London. 1 is an American who has moved to London. This book is about relationships and infidelity, and it's not a good time. It's not a happy story by any means, but it is one that I first watched when it came out. I think it was 2004, and I remember just being like, whoa. Like, I'd never watched a movie that was so dark and dealt with relationships in this way. It's amazing. And the play is amazing. I just want to read this real quick. Marber writes like a master. On the surface, Closer is brisk, urbane, witty, obscene, modern, quotable, slick. Beneath the skin, it is deeply felt, painful, sad, and wise. It is about sexual jealousy and sexual desire, and it is keenly alert to human isolation, even within intense relationships. And that's describes the story perfectly. It's a lot, and if that's not something you're interested in, this movie and play is definitely not for you, but to this day, it's one of my favorites. The next book to movie adaptation that I have to talk about because it's one of my absolute favorites is Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Coraline follows the story of a young girl named Coraline. I believe she is like 10 years old, and she's recently moved into a... That's creepy. I just noticed there's creepy stuff on this cover. Like, look, you can see the other mother right there in the window spying on her. What? It follows the story of Coraline Jones as she moves into a new sort of apartment complex, and from there things get pretty weird, especially when Coraline finds a little door that leads to another world that closely resembles her own, only it appears to be much better. As with all these movies, I saw Coraline first, and I was drawn to it because it was stop motion. I thought it was a Tim Burton movie because you definitely get the same vibes with Coraline as you do with The Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride. And while it was not made by Tim Burton, it was made by Henry Selick, and Henry Selick was the original director for Nightmare Before Christmas. Little fun fact for you, while it was Tim Burton's story, The Night Before Christmas, he had to go off and film Batman during that time, so Henry Selick took over as director. What I'm saying is there's a very similar vibe between Tim Burton movies and Henry Selick, and it's because they're children's stories, but they're freaking dark and they're really creepy, which to me is, mwah. It's just everything that I want. It's another just visually stunning movie. I watch it every year around Halloween time, sometimes multiple times a year, and it's fantastic. It's beautiful, it's creepy, the soundtrack is amazing, and as with all of these movies that I'm talking about, I obviously love the story behind it. It's just so good. Like, I love Coraline. Have I not mentioned how much I love Coraline? Where's my Coraline doll? Hold on. Even though this means the other mother is spying on me, I keep her on my bookshelf because I just love her so much. She's probably pretty dusty. Whatevs. Anyway, love Coraline. I have Coraline artwork in my room. I'll show you guys. Actually, let me show you guys. Hold on. This is a piece of artwork that I've got that features Coraline and the Pink Palace. And yeah, I framed it. It's hanging on my wall. Like I said, I love this story so much. It's so good. All right, guys, so that's all for this video. I don't know why I'm doing that. In the comments below, I would love for you guys to let me know if you have seen these movies, and if you have, what do you think of them? Because I feel like I've picked a variety, and they're all movies that have had an impact on me. They're just movies that I love and that I can watch over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. I would also love to know what your guys' favorite movie adaptations are, because there's so many that I didn't mention that I still really love, and I could do a part 2 of this video, so also let me know if you'd be interested in a part 2. I mean, Books and movies, they're my favorite things, and I would not mind at all doing another video about this. So let me know if that's something you'd be interested in seeing. All right guys, so that's all for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one.